It's Eric Erickson, host of the Eric Erickson Show nationwide. You can listen to me noon to 3 at ericerickson.com or on your local radio station. Big blowout for Donald Trump in Iowa last night. Huge blowout. In fact, for those who've been saying the polling is all wrong or the polling is rigged, well, guess what? Donald Trump met his polling average. The Real Clear Politics polling average had him about 52%. He'll come in at about 51.8%. Now, the DeSantis and Haley supporters are complaining because the media called the race before the voting actually begun. In Iowa, people going to caucuses take an entrance poll. They're talked to before they go into the caucus, not after they come out. So it's an entrance poll. The media had a very good idea of what was going to shake up. Now, here's the thing. A lot of people will complain and say, well, that threw the race to Donald Trump. He won by 30 points. Maybe he would have won by 25, but he was going to blow out the race. It's clear the polls were right. Donald Trump has the momentum, and Ron DeSantis' much heralded ground game that I actually thought could give him the race, well, never backed down, got beat down in Iowa last night. That's just a fact. Let's look at the map. This is the precinct map in Iowa. You'll see some yellow there for Ron DeSantis. You will not see any purple for Vivek Ramaswamy. He got blown out of the water completely. He's already quit the race. Nikki Haley won a county, Johnson County in Iowa. That's a college town, University of Iowa there. Here's the thing. Ron DeSantis didn't win a single county. He won some precincts, but he didn't win a single county. Donald Trump won every county in Iowa except Johnson County. That's the college town. They turned out for Nikki Haley. That's not a sustainable part of the Republican coalition for a primary. Even if she does well in New Hampshire, that's just not going to translate well for Nikki Haley nationwide. And keep in mind, the polling turned out to be right. That means Donald Trump probably is ahead in South Carolina, where Nikki Haley was the governor. He is ahead in Florida, where Ron DeSantis is currently the governor. Likewise, DeSantis is largely out of funds. He put it all into Iowa, and now he doesn't have anything to show for it. This is not a Republican primary race anymore. There's no reason for the media to hype it up, make it exciting, or even if Nikki Haley rebounds in New Hampshire. We see the way this is going to play out. Doesn't mean that the Republicans need to get out immediately, but they're not going to win, so they might as well. It also means that the candidates, well, they're not Donald Trump, so they can't win. The voters want Donald Trump. They don't want a Trump-like candidate. Nikki Haley is perhaps not a great fit outside of college towns for the GOP. The majority of the coalition right now is non-college educated voters. The boomers are going all in for Donald Trump. Even Gen X went for Trump. DeSantis did well with the youngest voters, but they're the least likely to vote. So there's no path for these other candidates. Now, what does that mean? It means really the Republican convention should be sped up from the end of July to sooner. Why? Because, well, Donald Trump needs Republican money, and he can't officially get party funds until he's the nominee. With all of his money going to lawyers, he's going to need the resources because the Biden team is going to come after him very quickly. They've got more money than any presidential campaign ever. They're going to use it against Donald Trump, and they're going to remind independent voters why they didn't like the chaos of the Trump administration. Keep in mind as well that though the polling shows Trump beating Biden by about 1.5 in the Real Clear Politics polling average, a lot of voters aren't paying attention yet. The Biden team actually believes they have the data to show once voters realize Trump is the nominee, they'll shift to Biden. I don't know that that's the case. If the economy recovers, though, Republicans will have a tough path with Trump. That being said, he's going to need a lot of resources, and he absolutely can win. And Democrats at some point, like the Republican opponents to Trump, have to stop trying to find external events to stop Trump, and they're going to have to find a way to stop him. They're trying with indictments. That's not working. Donald Trump could very well become president of the United States again. One thing is certain. He will be the Republican nominee for president as this is playing out. Republican voters want a do-over of 2020, and they intend to have it.